will find you via social media, via recommendation from someone within the company, or from you reaching out to them to establish a relationship. You should market yourself the same way that you would want to market someone or a company that you would want to personally invest in. So look for qualities that you aspire to be or things that you look up to, and try to emulate something that you feel is professional, respectful, and marketable. Social media outlets are overwhelming, and there are just so many now to choose from. I always tell people to pick 1 to 2 platforms that they are most comfortable with, and to work with them consistently, improving their audience and as well as their connection with their audience. How often you should post on social media is a question I get asked a lot. And there's no right answer. Every social media platform has different followings, and it depends on the tone of your followers on what they like to see. However, the way that Facebook specifically works, where only certain posts are viewable by your audience, it is best to post several times per day. The way Instagram works, many of your followers would unfollow you if you post more than twice a day. And the way Snapchat works is you will only get engagement with people when you engage with them. So it is best to post several times a day, as well as actually reaching out and direct messaging if you want to build points. If you're posting on YouTube or Vimeo, you do need to post consistently, but I wouldn't say that you need to post more than once a week. The fitness industry is booming, and this is especially important to those that are 35 plus. There is so much going on right now for you ladies and gentlemen, and it's just a super exciting time. The 35 and above has become the new 21 and above, and I just love seeing it. I have so many clients right now that are in those upper age ranges and those different categories, and it's just really exciting to see opportunities for them. A few things to remember. When you are 35 and plus, your audience is going to be generally women or men, whichever sex you are. It's going to be the same sex as you. If you're in the fitness industry, you are not trying to attract the opposite sex. You're not a dating service. You're a coach and an instructor. I would say, being a woman, 80% of my clients are females. The other ones I coach are either working in inclusive also with my husband, or they are the husbands of the ladies I train. So when you're marketing yourself, whether you're 21, 35, or 45, it's important to remember your audience is generally people that are within 10 years of either direction of your age. So, you know, if you're 35, they may be 25-year-olds contacting you and 45-year-olds contacting you. You can totally tailor that market to be more specific to one audience or another, but you want to remember it's the same sex. You're not trying to sell sex. You do want to be sexy, but you don't need to be in underwear. You don't need to be posting photos in a thong. You don't need to be posting Playboy photos unless that's your intention. If you want to be sexy, by all means be sexy, but realize that it's not going to make you money. And then you need to remember that once you're 35 plus, your audience is also aging, as are you. So your audience is probably going to be a bit more conservative. Your audience is going to be, luckily for you, with people that have a little bit more money to spend. So your clientele may be a little more upper end. Your clientele may have, you know, the extra $100 to spend on you in a personal training session 101. They may have an extra $1,000 to spend on a really nice bikini if you're coaching them for bikini prep. They may have the time to really invest in you. So as you age, remember also that your audience is aging with you. It is, you know, crucial to not try to keep up with someone that's 10 years younger than you, but to fully embrace your generation, fully embrace who you are as a woman or as a man, and talk to your peers, because those are the ones that are going to invest in you. Realistic expectations getting into the industry 35 plus, or for anyone, the sky's the limit. There is no amount of cap on what you can do in the internet. With today's social media and internet-based world, you can really explode in the industry within just a few years. However, you need to realize that that few years is going to be a all-encompassing, lifestyle-changing, full-on invested time. You aren't going to overnight become popular and overnight have this stage-ready body and overnight have people knocking at your door to give you things or sponsor you or invest in you if you have not been doing the same for many, many months ahead of time. Companies are looking for a marketable person that speaks to their audience. So if a company that sells primarily to 18 to 22-year-old women is selling a maybe a little bit less expensive but really trendy clothing style, and you're a 42-year-old woman, although you may look amazing and you may personally love their attire, you're not marketable because you don't emulate the look that sells to the primary group of their audience. However, if you are a 22-year-old fitness model who looks very similar to their current models and has a lot of potential to grow with the company, and you are brand loyal and you understand how to work social media, you don't necessarily have to be huge on social media, but you need to understand how it works and be actively engaging with the people that do follow you, then you are potentially marketable for that company. I think when marketing yourself, it is important to be honest. Don't look in the mirror and see that one time 5 years ago when you took that amazing photo and your photographer very kindly photoshopped out a few things and gave you some great lighting, and think that that one time, that highlight reel in your life was what you can expect to receive every single day. It's important to know your audience and to know what you're speaking to. So for example, when I was a teenager, I was a fashion model. I was tall, I was thin, I was very, very petite. I worked with a very large industry and had a great company backing me. However, just a few years changed, I hit puberty, and all of a sudden I was tall, but I wasn't as thin. I was, experienced, but all of a sudden I had a little bit of acne, a few things going on, and they didn't, hurt my feelings, but they just said, sorry, there's other things out there for us, come back if you fit our look. So realize that the fashion industry and the fitness industry are not cruel, they are direct. They are looking for a very specific thing, and if you aren't it, move on. Quit wasting your time. If you want to find what your market is, look in the mirror and be honest. Work with a photographer that's local and affordable and get, a basic portfolio of some photos together. Look at, okay, maybe I'm a personal trainer. Who buys personal training from me? Is it, 20-year-old girls? Is it 40-year-old women? Is it 22-year-old guys? Who's spending money and currently investing in you? And that will tell you who your audience is. And if you don't know who you are, it's important to be not down on yourself, but critical. Look at yourself and look at your flaws. Personally, I will never be on the cover of a super mainstream fitness magazine. I have too many tattoos, I'm too old, and I'm too muscular. I'm okay with that. I love who I am. However, I don't even bother sending in some of those things. I send in my photos to tattoo magazines, to a little more hardcore fitness magazines, to fitness magazines that are already including tattooed athletes, although they may only currently promote tattooed male athletes. I push the edge and say, hey, I love the feature you did on this tattooed male athlete. Have you ever considered working with a tattooed female? That's a little edgier for you. Are you willing to work with me? And I will push the envelope, but I don't go hitting up, Rue 21 or Forever 21 and saying, hey, can I sell to your people? I'm 10 years too old for that. I don't have a runway model look, and I'm covered in tattoos. So these are all things that I could take personal, or I could choose to look at myself objectively and know what I am. I have a great look for CrossFit, full functional, total body, bodybuilding groups of people that are a little bit more edgy and a little bit more into serious lifting. That's completely okay. It's all about knowing your audience. I have a lot of clients who tell me that they want to be on the cover of a magazine, or they want to be an athlete for a company. And while I am very supportive of that, I wish that many of them were like other of my clients that were actively working in the business world. While it is an amazing thing that you have personally had a transformation or gotten in shape or gotten on stage and been able to maintain a healthy off season within 5 to 10 pounds of your stage weight, these are all great things and I'm very happy for you. However, just because you are fit and just because you are in shape does not mean that you are currently marketable. Being marketable means understanding how the business works. It means looking at a company, seeing what their audience is, who their paying customers are. If you represent that demographic, awesome. That doesn't mean that you're marketable. Now, you need to know where that company was founded. You need to know who owns that company. You need to know the beliefs and ideals of that company. You need to know where that company is lacking. And this is crucial. If you know that this company does great sales to 20 to 35-year-old men, but they're lacking in female sales, and you personally have a great audience and you have been able to sell things or reach out to a substantial amount of women in the 20 to 35-year-old age range consistently, then maybe you might have an opportunity to approach this company and say, hey, I think I can help you with your female sales. But if you come to a company and you say, hi, I got in shape, I look pretty good, can you give me things? I totally would love to work for you. They're probably not even going to respond. And that may sound harsh, but they don't have time. They have time for the people that have done the homework. They have time for people that understand how a business works. And they have time for people that are not only going to show up professionally and be able to contribute, but people who are able to think outside the box and bring something from the business standpoint as well as the marketable face standpoint to the table.